All right, y'all. Shalom, shalom. It's early in the morning, as you can see, and just coming on here, as you can tell by the title, want to talk about obedience and how it's the key. Um, and I know what I'm talking about is so basic. A lot of people might be like, "Well, what do you mean obedience is the key?" Um, but I think we are massively deceived uh, when it comes to obedience. Okay, um, and I really want to drive the point home on this. And one of the reasons why, you know, on a topic like this, and I know y'all be able to see me a little better here soon as the sun comes out. But like I said, it's early in the morning. Hold on one sec. Camera. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's early in the morning, and you know, but this was on my heart, so I said, hey, I'm gonna bring it out, and I'm gonna, as I've been saying lately, I'm gonna slowly unpack it about obedience, and you know, my experience with it, just in my own life, like wondering. I just can remember the majority of my military career, wondering why, on the military level, as far as the professional work level, not in my off time, I was a pretty social person, but when it came to work and dealing with authority and getting promoted and all that stuff, I struggled. I struggled in that department. And as I grew older, as I grew wiser and gained more wisdom and understanding in the word, and as the Most High got in my footsteps, I realized that my issue was obedience. And I realized that that was one of the curses that was upon us as a nation or as a race or whatever you want to call it, you know. And that's not to say other nations don't struggle with obedience, but not to the level of Israel. Um, you know, and I'm just what it is. I'm just thinking back and going through those experiences again. And it's not the reason why there's a need to do a video on a topic like this is because the struggle with obedience isn't what you typically think about. A lot of times, people are totally unconscious and unaware of their level of disobedience, um, uh, and of what it is. A lot of people just kind of excuse it away. Um, I've seen people who, for lack of understanding, disobey stuff. But the word tells us upon all these things, get wisdom. It tells you to get that understanding. I've seen people be disobedient for pride's sake, for, you know, I mean, there's a myriad of reasons why. And when I say disobedience, not doing what they're asked to do or what they commit to do. And let me even be more specific. I'm talking about when it counts and when it's needed. So a lot of times people will give their word and commit to something, but then they can't be counted on to do what they said they're going to do. Hey, I said I'm going to do this. I committed to it. I'm going to be obedient and do what I'm being relied upon to do. And for whatever reason, it doesn't get done. And the thing is, here's where the sin is at, is they're comfortable making excuses on it. Okay? And we could go all in the word where it says, hey, don't commit, don't give your word and say you're gonna do something and not do it. That's Israel. You know what I'm saying? Where they said, yeah, we're gonna keep all these commandments, and they turn right around and break them. And it's just a cycle through the Bible of them doing this. And again, where we're deceived in present day, where Israel don't see itself present day, is we don't see, we are so comfortable with our excuses. Oh, I'm a slow learner. Oh, I didn't know. Like it's funny, like I didn't know is like that dude be messing everybody up, right? Everybody named, oh, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we become so comfortable with our reasons and excuses. Oh, here go another one. I forgot. Okay. Look, let me tell you something real. Michael Israel forgets stuff. Okay. But when it's concerning my nation, I rarely mess up. And that's what I'm talking about. Where people come and they will say, oh, I'm committed. I love Jesus. Me and one of the brothers down here were talking about how there's people that we've seen who, y'all, they praise and worship out the roof. They praise and worship so good that you think when they're done there at the Shabbat, you think, okay, they're gonna get in a chariot and head back to heaven. Like that's how good these people praise and worship. You think, oh yeah, they just come down for the Shabbat and they go back up to heaven. That's where they live at. That's how good they praise and worship. But, and I mean, what me and one of the brothers was talking about is how these brothers exude all this energy, praising and worshiping, but when it comes time to be obedient, we're like, where's all that energy at? Because you have no strength in your obedience. We can't count on you to do anything. Okay? So where'd all that energy go? Or did you use it all up with your praising and worship, putting on a show? So and the reason why I stress this point so hard, probably in the majority of my videos, is because it's the key. It's the key to the kingdom. It's the key to us becoming a nation. And the 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 epidemic of this disobedience is it's widespread in Israel, and not just in Israel, in the Straitway Nashville / Straitway Florida assembly. It is widespread, and it needs to be brought to the surface because a lot of people don't see it because people talk such a good game and they praise such a good game, and then hey, all right, I need you to do this. You love Yah, right? Uh, this is Straitway, Nashville Assembly, or this is Straitway Florida Assembly, right? Yeah. And you believe that the Most High led you here, right? Yeah. And you all in with this, right? Yeah. All right, I need this done, this, that, and the other. Okay. Boom. Or somebody say, hey, I'll do this. I got you on this, that, and the other. Okay. We understand this is the end time kingdom. We understand we're in the end times. We see everything going on. We understand the mission of Straitway as a whole and of Straitway Florida, Straitway now. We understand all this, right? Yeah. All right. Go ahead and do that. you know what? I forgot. Uh, you know what? You said that? Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was going, yeah. But you know what happened is this came up, or I had to go do this. Yeah, but I thought you love Yah with all your heart, mind, and soul, and you love your brothers, you love yourself, and you about moving this thing forward. But now this is a higher priority than that, or you just forgot. You know what I'm saying? Now look, people don't let me hit you with some heavy truth. People don't forget things that are important to them. Yo, y'all put a 100 up in there if y'all get that. Okay? People don't forget things that are important to them. You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm lying, you watch them when it's time to eat. You watch them when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget that. I seen people. Hey, listen, Chris, you tell us when we get busy, do we not forget to eat? Don't we be forgetting to eat?
Sometimes we got there's lunchtime. We just straight work. We don't even think about food. We too busy. Way too busy. So we don't think about nothing about belly.
That's how hard we get after it. And when I'm saying we, it's a small group of us down here in Straightway, Florida, that when we will get after it so hard that we forget to eat. I tell you what, the past 3 days I've been forgetting to eat, and I can't figure out why I'm feeling all weird and sluggish, and I gotta go find something to eat. That's how this, and I'm not saying we do. That's our like I make the brothers work through their lunch and all that. Nah, but when we locked in, we locked in. But I'm just saying, we very mission oriented. The nucleus of brothers down here, very mission oriented and very selfless. Very selfless. Okay, and that having brothers that are obedient to the level of a brother Chris or brother Umbry or even a brother Manuel, even though he's struggling to get understanding, he is still obedient. Okay. Um, but having brothers like that um, in the core nucleus, and we have sisters like that, you know, Sister Coy, Sister Crystal, Sister Alita, just locked in a selfless way with a high level of obedience. I ain't saying everybody 100% obedient. It's at varying levels, but they are at a level to where we have been able to establish our assembly thoroughly and been able to move it forward in the right direction um, in a season as this. And when say a season as this, I'm saying a season as this dead season we are in. And those brothers and sisters that I've named have, uh, you know, they've made it possible for us to establish something that other brothers and sisters can come to and be a part of and partake of. You know, they're the foundation. They built this thing, you know, just with a high level of obedience. Don't get it twisted. We got a bunch of other brothers and sisters that are very much the foundation of this too. But when I talk about all in 100% obedience, is those brothers and sisters come to mind. Okay? But don't get it twisted. We got other key brothers and sisters that are they're growing and coming into this at their own at the pace that the Most High is guiding their footsteps and stuff like that. And they too are going to. Some of the other brothers and sisters are on the trajectory where they're going to they're gonna establish this high level of obedience. But these brothers and sisters that I just named, I've it's years of obedience and consistency that I've bear witness to. Um, and that's why I can speak of them highly like that. But I'm saying that to come back to this is the key. That is what it takes to walk this thing out. And in order to function on a high level of obedience, you have to be selfless. And in order to be selfless and to be obedient, you spiritually, your mind got to be in the right place. Okay? You got to get your mind aligned with the word. Okay? And even then, and the brothers and sisters that are part of Straightway Nashville and that are part of Straightway Florida, they will tell you. Yeah, let's hit the gym first. Yeah, we just park over there near the stadium. These brothers and sisters, they will tell you, even still, a lot of correction still has to go forth and rebuke. But these brothers and sisters truly desire to grow in Yah. They truly desire. And how do I know it? Not because they jump around and yell and worship, and they do that, but not because they jump around and yell and worship, but because I know them by their fruit. I see the selflessness in them. I see the desire to be obedient, and I see the understanding of the vision that we have laid out here. And I see the level of commitment. And like I said, those brothers and sisters, and we have other brothers and sisters out there they're coming into that. But look, I can count on them more than any other people in the world, family or whatever. I could count on them just like I could count on the sun gonna rise. When I come to them and I ask them something, and I like I tell the brothers and sisters here, like I'll ask them to do stuff, and they know, hey, he just asking. It's not important. But sometimes I come to brothers and sisters and I say, hey, look, this is real talk. I'm coming to you as a half assembly. That's something I really need. Boom, 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 boom. And I know it's gonna get done. You know what I'm saying? And that is how we have been able to, establish the business we have. That's how we've been able to move the community forward to the level where, and we still got a long way to go. Don't get it twisted. I got a lot of growing to do. There's still a lot of growth that has to happen. But when your mind's in the right place and you're, you got to back it up. Just pull it up there, pull it closer. But yeah, when your mind is in the right spot. Hold on one sec. Okay. So yeah, when your mind is in the right place, okay, and you're aware of this, you're vigilant of what I'm saying, and this is in the forefront of your mind, then you're able to see where you're not being obedient, because unless you're vigilant and you watch, you won't see it. Why? Because here's what the deception is. A lot of people are deceived into thinking the work is, just some type of act you put on Shabbat, or like in church. A lot of people think the works of the church are just memorizing scripture and going to church, to the service. A lot of people in Israel, if you look out in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, I look at the kind of the Christian Hebrew assemblies out there, they attribute works to a lot of emotionalism and jumping around and acting like a nut, but they still run around wicked as hell. Then you go to the camp side of it, they attribute the works as just being out there teaching, waking the people up. That's a part of it, okay? But it ain't the work. The works are obedience, coming together, selflessness, having all things in common, coming together, all that stuff. Then you look at the what would you call it? The academic Hebrews, for lack of a better word, and they attribute the work to knowledge, to knowing, okay, to how much information they know about. That's what the work is to them. And even for me, for a season, I thought putting in the work for Israel, I thought the works were just going out, going to different events, getting this truth out to through the media and all that stuff like that. Hold on one sec. Okay. So yeah. So that's what I was attributing the work to. But what the work is being obedient. First off, being obedient to what the word says, because the word lays out the work you got to put in, the work you're going to put in. Like the word lays all this stuff out. The word lays out the word lays out you know, all the and I'm sorry, I'm just watching this car over here, seeing what the heck they doing. And they ain't doing nothing. But anyway, the word lays out what you need to do. A lot of times it's so far outside of anything you've heard or considered, you don't think, you just kind of blow it off. That's why it's a blessing that Pastor Dow years ago, 20 years ago, probably longer, 20 years ago, he said he was such an outside the box thinker to where he wasn't gonna let anything put him. Oh man. Okay. So let me do this again. Anyway, so Pastor 20 years ago, he was a forward thinker enough to think outside the box and not get kind of boxed in by religious thought and just read the word and let the book talk for what it was saying. And he saw that, hey, this book said come out of her. This book said set apart. This book said have everything, all things in common. Like, and when you read the word, it's basically telling you become a nation, establish this culture, this biblical culture. And he saw that, you know what I'm saying? He saw that. And while it was back then, he looked crazy to everybody doing it. Today, I even hear the camps. Now the camps are even doing Feast of Tabernacles in the woods, going and camping out now. And they used to talk junk about it and tease Hebrews who would set up tents and all that. And now the book's making sense in this day and age, in these times, on how we need to come out of her. It's like it's hard not to see. Even the heathens are like, yeah, I need to move away from these cities. So, but again, it's going back to that obedience, a high level of obedience. And, you know, we're not going to get anything established without the obedience. And again, what we need to do is come out of making all these excuses of why you're not doing what you're asked to do. Because again, that is a huge part of what the works of this thing are. Like, how are you going to serve and walk this thing out if you can't do what you come together as an assembly, as a group, and you can't do what you're asked to do? And you're comfortable making excuses of that, knowing that you are not doing the work. Because like I said, the work is not jumping around, getting emotional. That is preparing you for the work. That's getting you in the mindset and getting your energy locked in to do the work. But the work is actually doing what you're asked to do, producing the fruit. Hey, you gonna can you do the so and so on that? Yeah, I'll do it. And you go do it, and you do it above and beyond. That is how Straightway Florida moved forward. And we had and we have people that just undermine that, and it just does not register. You will sit there and rebuke them to their face, and it does not register to them. Why didn't you get that done? Oh, because so and so and so. And then you rebuke them for it, and they're just sitting there looking at you like it don't register. Like, well, I gave them my excuse why I didn't do it. And so, like, to them, it just don't click. Now, my core nucleus group, they get it. They have realized that you can function on a level where you are perfect. You can function in perfection. You know, the people who get this right off the bat are people who have been in the military and operated at a high level in the military, and people who are professionals in whatever field they're professionals in. The ones who come to mind are, of course, the football players, like talking to Elder Rob Mathis about football and his mindset. And when you listen to Rob, and it's something I've seen with all high-level elite professionals, man, they are watching they're learning and perfecting every single aspect of what they do. So Rob had a way he was coming off the line. If a guy reached his hand out this way, he had something he would do to offset that hand. He was telling me, like, I'll dip my shoulder this way to fake him and then spin this way. And every little minute thing, he had analyzed it to be perfect at it. And in doing that, he rose to the top of the profession he was in. And then you look at the bootlickers, the people who are just a constant headache, who hold up the work. And that's not what they do. They just mindlessly and brainlessly continue to deal with certain situations the same way. And they can't break out of that rut. But the high level people know how to look at something, and they know that no matter what it is, they know how to get the job done, get the mission done. They know how to and do it perfectly. You have a lot of people that they don't think they can do stuff perfectly. They don't they be like, hey, I just don't know how to do it. And they're cool. They're completely content and cool with that excuse, with mediocrity. They ain't gonna inherit it. And that's how they deal with sin in their life. That's how they deal with all the stuff that they are against the word in. And I've been coming at the saints. I got some, we've been going through the book of Proverbs, just verse by verse going through it. We've done Bible studies on it. And then when we're not doing the Bible studies, I'll just do a couple verses. And we're like in chapter 4, and just Proverbs is just the first 4. I think the first 6 chapters of Proverbs are telling you how important it is to get wisdom and to get understanding. See, the way it should be, if it, and like I said, with patience and long suffering, with brothers and sisters. But the way it should be when a brother or a sister truly 100% submitted is things should just start moving forward at a healthy pace. And that's how it's been for Straightway Florida. We're about 3-4 years into this, and we've made a lot of progress. And that's because I've been dealing, and we have serious-minded saints that are obedient. They do what they're asked to do, and they do it with excellence. And the reason why we're not further ahead is because for a couple of years there, we entertained people who were disobedient. They were unrighteous. You know what I'm saying? They did not want to get it. And in doing that, they magnify how slow they make things go. Imagine if you got a leader and your leaders waste the majority of his time rebuking people instead of pushing forward the vision. You see what I'm saying? And we had that. We had that for a while. But yeah, praise Yah. Separated them from us. Okay? He weeded them out. And now what we have is a very tight, cohesive group that is serious-minded about moving forward. They understand the vision, which the vision ain't complicated in this day and age when you see the condition of this society and what's going on and what's on the horizon. I mean, the vision isn't hard. So if somebody is upsetting the work, and that's what I realized. Some of these people, like when I really buckled down, I realized they know exactly what they're doing because they've been rebuked about it and they don't care. Now it's a choice for them. They chose to forget about that. And it's only a matter of time. Most High will check them and deal with them one way or another. Because that's the other thing I learned. Don't waste your time, your energy. Don't get your hair grayer rebuking someone 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 30, 40, 50, 60 times, 100 times, 200. I've done it to no avail. You let Yah work his perfect work. You say that prayer that Pastor was talking about in that one video he did when some people come ask him to pray for him. He prayed for him. He prayed against them, that Yah would turn them over to Satan so that they would wake their hard-headed ass up. And I'm telling you, man, people need that sometimes. Because they will wear you out with this disobedience. But obedience is the key, y'all. It's real talk. So you need to look at yourself. And I'm not saying anything somebody else should do, you got to be obedient. But you got to have the wisdom to know when it's something for your assembly, you need to do that as unto the Lord. That's kingdom work. I watch people screw up kingdom work. Forget about kingdom work. Now, when it's something for their pocket or their money or something they interested in, what I call carnal work, oh, they all on it. But when it's kingdom work, oh, I forgot. Oh, you know what? you know, I was going to do it, but this happened. You know what? I do want to do that, but I'm still doing this, you know? And I'm sitting here like, but it's kingdom work, and you was jumping around praising and worshiping and crying and saying how much you love. Yeah, and now here we are. We got kingdom work, and you got all you got is excuses. No fruit, excuses. I can't eat excuses. I can eat fruit. What's up? Y'all, that's just real talk, y'all. Put a 100 up in there if y'all get where I'm coming from. And with that, I'm gonna go through some of the comments here, see what y'all talking about. I see somebody put something long in here. Somebody said, "All praise to the Most High, Shalom family." Proverbs chapter 10. Yeah, if you're gonna, excuse me, if y'all gonna post stuff, if you're gonna post stuff on here, just you got to post the scripture because you know a lot of times I can't look it up and read it, you know, and we want to read these scriptures, you know what I'm saying? We definitely want to read these scriptures. So let's see what else y'all got in here. All right, see y'all. All right, y'all putting y'all 100s in there. That's what's up. All right. Yep. But yeah, y'all, man. I hope you know, what I'm just really trying to drill home that obedience thing because a lot of people like they just missing it. It is they what they and I just think nobody's explained obedience to them and like like if you like in the military there ain't no excuses. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the mission complete, you know. Um Elder Rob's saying that he said there's no excuses, only excellent execution. Ain't that how it goes, Chris? Yeah. But people have become accustomed to making excuses. You know, with with uh what Rob was telling me and Pastor Daniel was telling me was how Tony Dungy, I think that was the name of their coach, how he would um he wouldn't yell at people or nothing. He'd tell you what your job was in your position. If you couldn't do it, he would replace you. And guess what? You knew that. He wouldn't ask you why you didn't make the play. He just replaced you. Guess what? Guess what y'all gonna do on Judgment Day? He ain't gonna be hearing no excuses. It's like, did you do what I said to do in the book? That's it. And people get offended when you rebuke them and when you check them on stuff. They don't know what love is. A lot of men and women too are soft as hell because they've never experienced masculine love. They never experienced the love of a real father, of a real man. Real men don't coddle you. Like if you off, they check your ass and make you uncomfortable because they know that discomfort from either smacking you upside your head, that's what my father do to me. Either smacking you upside your head or checking you or making you feel uncomfortable. They know that that's going to get your attention and drill it into your hard ass head. That's how real men deal with stuff. That's how men or raise daughters. Now these soft, feminine men, oh yeah, yeah, be gentle or be nice. You know, always talk in a soprano voice. I think that's a high voice or whatever. You know, but a man like, dude, what the hell is wrong with your ass? Like, wake up. Like that's how I be coming at these brothers sometimes. I'm like, snap out of it, man. Where's your head at? Like I've ran, y'all. Listen, man, I'm telling y'all for real. I done ran into so many brothers in this walk, as head of Straightway Florida and as head of Straightway Nashville. I have ran into so many brothers that were and are on a trajectory to hell, and they're on a trajectory to ruin their damn lives. And I'm trying to wake their ass up, and so, a lot of them will get offended, and I'll be their last chance sometimes. I'm not just talking, y'all. I'm telling you stuff that's going on now. Be their last chance, and I can't even get no fire in their ass on that. And then there's other brothers that get it. And it might take 1 or 2 rebukes. Sometimes it'll take a bunch. Sometimes it's constant correction on a lot of stuff in their life. And they get it. They see, they receive the love. Those are real men there. Those are kingdom-minded brothers who want to do kingdom work. Them other dudes, they weak, they soft. They don't get it. Most I ain't dealing with them like that. They're not serious about this thing. They in their feelings. And you know how I know I'm right on what I'm saying? I'm not being prideful. I'm just saying, you know how I know what I'm saying is on point? And I'm not a person in his feelings, but just the way I really know on a deep level, not just because what I'm saying lines up with the book. I'm telling you, y'all, years ago, I prayed for this. I asked for this. I asked y'all, because I was so lost. I said, y'all, when I get older, like, I want to help brothers get on the right path. Because I want to be that beacon of light when I was out there lost in the dark. But yeah, it's just real talk, y'all. I'm just keeping it 1,000. But we gotta wake up and understand what obedience is. If you sitting there telling your head of assembly or your elder or your deacon or your pastor or your brother, you giving him excuses on something that's kingdom work, y'all, you need to really check that, because you're a fake. You're not really walking in this thing. And what I've done, praise y'all, is I stopped dealing with people who rock like that. Now they could be a part of the assembly, they could be a part of the you know what I'm saying? But I don't deal with it. I don't really. I had nothing to do with them, because it's the unfruitful works of darkness. And the word says have nothing to do with the unfruitful works of darkness. And there's been people, man, it's every time around them, I find my heart rate up because I'm sitting there rebuking their ass or the same stuff. You see what I'm saying? And instead, what I do is I deal with brothers like this. You see what I'm saying? He being proactive right now. He not watching a Michael Israel video over there. He's studying about that tool, ain't you? Yeah. That I gotta train. I'm getting ready to train him on this troubleshooting tool, but he being proactive. He gets it, and he gonna learn it himself. So that he being considerate about his leadership. That's the mindset we gotta have, and that's how this thing moves forward. It ain't Michael Israel. It's these selfless saints that's around Michael Israel that help me go the direction I need to go. See, I'm not dragging him. He's helping push me. You see what I'm saying? He's helping us push y'all, if that makes sense. So anyway, y'all, it's we got a busy week this week. We actually got up 2 hours early this morning, and we're gonna organize our truck, and he's gonna be studying. We're gonna get to work, but yo, that's how we moving here. Y'all pray for Straightway Nashville, Straightway Florida, that the Most High would uh, continue to guide the vision and bring our vision to fruition. Y'all be praying for us. We're gonna continue to get after it. I'll be doing a Hebrew health video later on today, time permitting. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I didn't get in the late. So anyway, appreciate all y'all. Shalom to y'all. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. All right, see all y'all in there. I just wanted to, Most High put that on my heart. That's been on my heart for about 2 or 3 days to get that out. That's right. I can't eat excuses. I can eat fruit. That's good. Yep. And yeah, so anyway, I appreciate all y'all. And and I appreciate the Straightway Florida Home Assembly, man. These sisters is really getting after it, and these brothers is really getting after it. Like, hey, like I tell people, man, I just tell you straight up, when people come to Straightway Nashville, Straightway Florida, I tell them, I tell them, look, we operate more like a special forces unit than some Christian church group or something. That's how we move here. That's how these other assemblies operate too. That's how I learned it. Watching Elder Rufus and how Straightway Georgia operates, and then watching Brother Daniel and how Straightway Indy operates, and watching Elder Mitchell and how Straightway Kentucky, and of course watching Pastor and how he operates. They like generals, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I saw, So yeah, man. So anyway, y'all be encouraged. And with that said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. Shalom, shalom.